justice or appeasement? So, welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I don't know if you heard or not, but apparently they done threw down, I think, maybe 11 murder charges on a police officer out of Atlanta. Now, my question is this. You think that's a little much? Now, I've heard some people say, well, they're doing that because they want some very tough charges to come down, and then hopefully he can plead to some lesser ones and get less time. But my question is this: is he guilty? Is this man that did what he did guilty? Now, I'm gonna tell you why I think this is a bunch of appeasement without going through the justice route. Number one, everybody is still shell-shocked over what took place in Minneapolis. They've seen the off-the-leash angry mob tear up stuff, and people don't want that to happen to their city. Number two, they saw that the delay of an arrest and charges for those people down there in Minneapolis led to more chaos. But see, I need to let the people know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, see, the goal and objective for the angry mob is not to see immediate arrest or all of that stuff. It's to make change. It's to make political change. It's to make societal change. It's to make cultural changes in the United States. So therefore, there's nothing you can do to calm the angry mob. I mean, you can see what happened. I mean, the guy, after he got shot, people burnt down the Wendy's. They didn't stop and say, well, maybe we should wait and see how the charges play out. They didn't wait. They don't care. The angry mob just wants blood. And it appears that we got some politicians just willing to give it to them. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if I was a police officer right about now, I'd be saying, oh, you know what? If y'all gonna handicap me, if you're gonna tie my hands behind my back, make it hard for me to do my job, even make me second think it when I'm about to save my own life or think my life is at risk, it ain't worth it for no $45,000, $50,000 a year. I would be saying, why don't we all just go ahead and leave it to the old school, every man for himself, the wild, wild west. Leave it to that, because I'm already trained to know how to protect myself. So all of these softcore liberals and these angry Black Lives Matter people and Antifa, those people who fake like they know what they're doing, let them all take matters into their own hands. All these politicians just pushing for banding the police or taking the money away from the police. Here you go. Here's a nice gun for you. Good job good luck figuring out how to use that thing. Go on YouTube. There's lots of videos. So when it comes down to this, I kind of walked through the thing in my mind. Now, I watched the video the other day. Some more clips that gave more context than the first time I saw the case. And I don't know if this one is cut clear and dry. In fact, I know it isn't. Here's why I say that. This man was obviously drunk, sitting asleep in the drive-thru. So when the cops show up, they're talking to this man very peacefully, respectfully, for about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. As I said, it was even like 40 minutes. It didn't seem like they pulled up hostile, ready to kill this man, looking for trouble, wanting to kill a black man, all the stuff that the stereotypes and the narratives are saying. Is pull up, all right, I'm glad you guys called us. Is this a black man? It's a black man? Okay, because we weren't going to come if it was a white man. We were hoping that it's an African-American sitting in a drive-thru, because we come to kill. We come to kill. And it's going to take us 40 minutes to decide whether we want to kill this man or not, as we peacefully talk to him throughout the duration, leading up to us murdering him for no reason. So they talk to this man peacefully about 40 minutes. Then when it's time to arrest this man, because understand, that man wasn't getting home in the condition he was in. Did you see it? I watched some clips here. Okay, officer, look, I had 1, 2, maybe 1.5 drinks, some margaritas. Look, okay, I'm be honest. I was drinking. And they're like, well, could you do a breathalyzer test? What's that? Oh, okay, hold on. Blew in the breathalyzer test. Cops talked to him like he was a respected person. Then finally they like, okay, let's arrest him. Now, here's my thing. I didn't get any intel on why they were going to arrest him. Maybe they were going to take him home. Maybe they were going to take him to jail. Don't know. But here's what I do know. Either of those applications would have made him end up in cuffs, because I know the times that I was detained and put in the back of a car, they didn't leave my hands uncuffed. Whether they were taking me home or something, no, they don't care. If you get arrested or detained, and even if they take you to another location, most of the time, as far as I know, they lock your hands behind your back. Now, I don't know if this man has some other charges, but nothing he could have in the funnel of whatever lifestyle he lived could have compared to the results of what happened. Meaning, dude, you might be drunk, or you might have a case, you might have your license suspended, I don't know, but it wasn't worth getting shot in the back. Now, leading up to that, the way I see this is, soon as that man broke out fighting, the first clip I saw, couple seconds, then they showed him getting shot. The next clip I saw, this dude was going to war. This dude was getting the best of two cops. Now, I don't know if those cops couldn't fight. I don't know what was going on. But in that application, that itself, he's lucky to get out of that without getting shot. Soon as you go from the defense to the offense, it wasn't like the cops jumped on him and started beating him. And they kept yelling the whole time, dude, stop fighting, or you're going to get tased, you're going to get tased. Gave him warning, no straight, let's just shoot him. Let's go ahead and bypass warnings, go ahead and bypass tasing this man. Just go ahead and go to the extreme and shoot the dude in the midst of him swinging on officers and reaching for the taser. So he finally gets the taser. The cop starts to pursue him, and he's running behind the assailant. And this man decides, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and think that this is gonna work out. Now, I don't know if it was the alcohol, but you can't blame it on the alcohol. You can't blame it on that, because at some point this man turns. Now, I don't know. I'm just going off a human reaction. If I'm a cop and I see a quick movement like this, I'm a little concerned. All right, so the cop's chasing him with the taser, switches his hand, brings out the gun. I guess he had the taser in the next hand. Now, we find out that the taser was actually discharged at the cop. You got people saying things like, well, you know what, it's just a taser. Well, come to find out, those just a tasers carry 50,000 volts of electricity. And I was reading somewhere where over the last, maybe since 2000 and I don't know, when they brought them out, like thousands of people died from being tased. I mean, that's no longer just, well, it's going to lock me up and put me to sleep. You don't know what that's going to happen. When you get hit with a taser, I could fall in the midst of, after I get tased, hit my head on concrete, I'm dead. I don't know. Maybe I got a bad ticker and didn't know about it. You hit me with the tase, I lock up, go into cardiac arrest. I don't know. But I do know this man just resisted arrest, took my taser, took off running, then turned and shot it at me. Okay? So, this man obviously went from being passive to aggressive, and if he would have just kept running, just kept on in that direction, they might have just caught him, tased him, we'd be okay. Might have just jumped on him from behind, drug him to the ground, we'll be okay. But he decided to turn and shoot at the police officer. Now, because of this polarized environment, the people who's supposed to be going through the evidence and finding out, well, was this justified or not, jumped the gun. You're now influencing the jury and everybody when the leaders of the police department starts coming out saying stuff like, I mean, he murdered this guy and this was now you're swaying opinions. You are now saying these things so you can appease the audience and the crowd and the angry mob and say, look, I was on your side up front. So you're going to throw this man to the wolves. Now, I'm not saying he won't be found, liable for some damages or stuff like that, but to jump to that extent and that quick, that makes me wonder if this is justice or appeasement. Now, if you start sending that signal to all the police officers around the United States, look and see what happens. Look and see how many applications you get coming in to be a police officer. Look and see how many police officers are going into neighborhoods versus parking under a bridge, eating donuts and drinking coffee for the duration of their shift. Like, I ain't going nowhere, man. I'm not doing nothing. Let these people do whatever they do. They'll solve their own problems. Watch and see what signal you're sending to all the police. So therefore, we have to make sure we don't overcompensate when it comes down to making sure the police don't overreach or abuse their power. You got to find a balance. And right now, you got to have clear thinking heads when it comes to people who have no responsibility of being out there and risking their lives, but can sit in an office somewhere and make a judgment on something that they weren't even a part of. Weren't there? None of that stuff. They don't know what was going through that man's mind. They don't know all of the things that police have to endure. These are people who just sit back and go, yeah, you know, because I'm the mayor or I'm the governor or whoever, I'm going to go ahead and call the shot on this one so the people don't vote me out and get mad at me. Yeah, you fired. See, so my question goes back to this, his intent. That man, throughout the 40 minutes of talking, did not seem like I'm condescending. I'm coming at you because you black and talking down to you. I come here for trouble. I hope you get out of control so I give me an excuse to shoot you. None of that. You have to say, at what point do some people bring things on themselves? Personal accountability. I know this, and most black people know this from observation. If you fight with the cops, you increase your chances of getting either tased, beat down, or possibly even shot. I know this also. A man who carries, like myself, even if I could go, knuckle up with somebody, the fact that you just attacked me, why waste the time? Why run the risk of getting knocked? How about this? Pop, pop, pop. This dude just jumped on me for no reason. So he was lucky to get away and start running, let alone stop, turn, and shoot the taser back at the police officer. So at some point, we have to teach people, not just black, white, or whoever, about conflict resolution, about, hold on, before I escalate this thing and put my life in danger, the police officers' careers in danger, and other people who are looking for an excuse to destroy neighborhoods, tear up stuff, and push a political agenda, before I set off a wave of events that impact more than just the cop. I mean, look at all the people whose lives were affected when the angry mob just took off talking about, we protested for George Floyd, tearing up stuff, burning stuff, black folks getting killed, all of that stuff because of a cop doing what he did, which was justified. But now you come to this situation, this right here, I can justify why that cop got arrested. But in this one, I'm going, I don't know. Y'all moved real quick on this one, and I'm trying to think about it if I'm the cop. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy seems pretty calm. We've been cool. And I go to put the cuffs on him, and he go off. Not just off and getting away, but he's swinging on me. And me and my boy can't handle it. And then he takes off running with my taser. And in the midst of it, got the nerve to think this is going to work out in his favor by turning and shooting the taser at the cop. Police, I feel for you. When you're wrong, you're wrong. But when you're right, you're right. Or if it's questionable, at least do a fair investigation. Because now I got a feeling this guy, they're going to make an example out of him. And if that's the case, this ain't justice, it's appeasement. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. Find me every Wednesday night live, which is tonight, in Kevin's Corner on Facebook, YouTube, and my radio blog talk show. And let me see what else. Check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like the products, click on the link. You'll get a 20% discount. And if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link below the video. All right, God bless. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.